Holly here from Your Past is a Gift. Okay, so going through the videos I just talked about before, we were talking about how I've been in hospital for 2 weeks and my lessons learned from these 2 weeks in hospital. So in this video, I wanted to go through because there was one day where I was lying there on my back, waiting to go into this procedure, and all I could think about was my daughter, and tears are running down my face, thinking of all the times that I've yelled at her and I've lost the plot with her, and I haven't had the patience, to do things in her time, because children do things in their own time. There is no fast pace. There's only this moment, and they're trying to teach us that all the time, to be present in this moment rather than trying to rush through everything all the time. We're always rushing to get to the next thing, rushing. Always thinking forward, what we have to do next, where we have to go next, what needs to be done. That we're not present in this moment. We're not appreciating what's here right in front of us right now. But anyway, in this video, my main thing that I wanted to do with this video was to apologize to my daughter today. And I just want her to know, and for so many of you kids out there, I want you to know too. This apology goes to all of you, from all the parents out there. When we yell at you, we're not yelling at you because you've done something wrong. We're not yelling at you because of who you are. Do you understand? It's not because you spilt something. It's not because you accidentally burnt something. It's not to do with the action of what you've done. Many times, if you've made this mistake for the first time, and a parent's yelling at you, how could you know? They've never taught you before that you're not supposed to do that. That's what mistakes are for. So if you've done something, you've spilled something, you've burnt something, you broke something, whatever it was, and it's never been told to you before that you're not supposed to do that, and now they're yelling at you. Really, their frustrations with themselves. It's not with you. Any parent that yells, that's angry, that's abusive, they're frustrations with themselves. And it's so important for you to understand that. Sometimes we feel inadequate. We're not doing enough. We're not good enough. What we do, our work. In my case, many times, I love the work I do, but not enough money comes in with it. And so I'm always frustrated, that we're behind with the bills, we're behind with, because what I do is not enough. That's what it feels like to me, So when I yell at my daughter, it's because of how I feel, not because of what she's done. So I want you to understand that for any of you kids out there that are always being yelled at, always being smacked, because I was smacked a lot as a kid as well. I look at it now that I'm a parent, and now that I fell into that pattern in the first 2-3 years with my little one. Not so much the first year because they're still not doing anything, but still very dependent on us, on the parents as a baby. But once they kind of start walking, and especially once they start talking, kids, they're exploring. You're just exploring your environment. You're just learning. And it's our job to teach you. It's our job to tell you, no, don't break that, or don't do that because it's not safe. Like sticking things in a PowerPoint, for example, or, things like that. It's our job to teach you. And many of us get frustrated because we didn't plan ahead. We didn't see that was going to come. So when you do break something, like if they've just gone and bought you this beautiful new iPad, and you didn't know, and you dropped it and it smashed on the ground, and now they're frustrated because that's a lot of money now to go buy a new one. That's not your fault. It's an accident. These things happen, Anyway, but and as I was going through that, beating myself up, for all the times I've yelled at her, and for all the times that I've lost my patience, and I thought it wasn't necessary, to do that. I stopped for a minute, And I really started to think about all the beautiful moments we've had together. All the days at the park, you know, all the days we've gone to the swimming pool, all the days we've had it, not many days, but we've had a few at the beach, you know. We've had a lot of time together, you know, to share a lot of beautiful moments. And I've been there for all of that for her, you know. So I started to think of all that as well, because life isn't just about the crap. You know what I mean? The crappy moments. Yes, they happen. Yes, you know, sometimes I talk to her in a way that makes me feel ashamed of who I am, you know, because sometimes I'm just so mean to her. You know, I don't mean to be. It's just the moment. You know, like when we were swapping, when I was being discharged, when I discharged myself from the first hospital and I'm coming home, and there was this fear in my heart because I knew that I wasn't healed. They didn't fix me, they didn't do anything. I knew the pain was going to come back, and I knew I was going to have to go into another hospital. And on that day, coming home in the car, and then even when we got home, that whole morning, I was horrible to her, absolutely horrible to the way I spoke to her, you know. But it wasn't me, like what I'm normal me, you know what I mean? It was just the place I was in my head. I was so full of fear of what would happen. Did I do the right thing by discharging myself from this hospital? You know, I'm going to another hospital. Well, they just give me painkillers and send me home. I didn't know what to expect when I showed up at the door. So I was terrified. You know, and sometimes that's how it manifests. You know, when we're terrified of things, we just talk to people. We're abrupt, we're short, we're rude. Because we're so scared. We're terrified. You know, of what's going to happen. So think about that sometimes. You know, if you have people in your life that are that way, that are rude, that are short, that are abrupt, you know, and that you feel disrespectful, stop to think for a minute what's going on in that person's head. You know, are they terrified? Is there something going on in their life and they're just terrified? Because fear is, you know, it shows up. Are they in pain? You know, because at the hospital I could see so many people being so mean. And it was their way of dealing with this pain. But they were so mean to the nurses. They were so mean to the doctors. You know, they were so rude and impolite and curt and just, you know, I thought that, well, to me, I thought that's not necessary. These people are trying to help you, you know. But I was in a different place while I was there. I thought, well, I'm in pain, but they're helping, you know. But some people, they're just so afraid, you know, that they're not well, that they have this pain, and that's how it manifests out into the world. All right, my darlings, so think about that today. Think about those rude people, what they must be feeling, what they must be thinking. All right? Especially if it's your parents. You know, you feel that they're always yelling, they're always smacking. But you know, just for one moment, just stop to think of how they must be feeling, because it doesn't feel nice to do that. It doesn't feel nice to yell or to speak to someone in a mean way. You know, it makes you feel bad inside. So, all right, my darlings, I love you guys. I love you. All right, remember to click like and subscribe below so you don't miss any of the messages, and I'll see you in the next video, okay? Remember to share, because sharing is caring. Bye for now.